You've gotta be kidding. You really want to do all this? Just to catch one hunk of junk?
She's no longer something we can dismiss so easily. Her impact on the Ark had been relatively minimal for a long time, but now she is an active threat. She announced her intent to carry out a large-scale attack.
What? By using E2 crystals? Then we just adjust the alpha particle density to get rid of them. It's not hard.
We would need to install alpha particle generators across the entire Ark to do that. We began installing them after the first attack, but progress has been slow. And more importantly, it's harmful to the human body. Doing something like that across the entire Ark would introduce its own problems.
Now that I think of it, alpha particles disable electronic devices too. That could make things complicated. Alright, fine. Point taken.
That is why the commander here has proposed a rather audacious operation.
When was the last time a mere commander set foot in this chamber? Not since New Hope. Well, how does it feel having a meeting with the deputy chiefs and the CEOs of the Big Three? It just means we're eager to hear what you have to say. Don't feel too pressured.
Would you explain the operation?
You can't be serious. You don't really think you can get rid of her just by flipping a switch, do you? Tell me, does restarting your computer make all its data disappear?
And what if she's got more than one copy of herself?
There is no need for concern regarding that matter. We will utilize the highest grade hardware available. It will be compelling enough to draw every copy of 6.0 to it once the power is shut off. Correction. She will have no choice but to move every copy of herself to it.
And what exactly will this hardware be?
As that information is central to the operation, I will not disclose it to anyone other than the counters and their commander.
Oh la la! You become un véritable VIP, commander!
This will likely cause widespread chaos.
Agreed. I will be dedicating all of my resources to monitoring and addressing any trouble that ensues. As for the 3 CEOs, please install independently powered surveillance cameras throughout the Ark. I would also appreciate it if you could ready multiple radios capable of establishing direct communication with me. I'm sure you are aware, but I must reiterate that all wired devices are strictly prohibited. 6.0 can transfer herself between devices using electrical lines. Extreme caution is required. Additionally, this operation must not be disclosed to any NIKKEs under your command, and I highly recommend that you personally oversee the preparations. Other than that, please conduct yourselves as usual.
So that is why you didn't call in Doben.
Hold on. What if this thing escapes to the Outer Rim?
The Outer Rim's power grid is entirely dependent on the Ark. A blackout in the Ark will cause a blackout in the Outer Rim as well.
And you're not taking the safety of the Outer Rim into consideration.
Correct. At present, the Outer Rim is not part of the Ark, and therefore has not been factored into consideration.
Ugh.
However, while no mention can be made of the operation to the Exotic Squad, encouraging them to establish a blackout protocol would be acceptable.
That's quite the surprising proposal coming from you.
The incident at Punk Street has altered my perspective. I found it encouraging that not a single Outer Rim resident breached the partition at that time. Whether by their own will or due to external influence, ultimately, they showed no intention of harming the Ark. While I cannot deem them completely harmless, they do not constitute a threat at present. Therefore, permitting them to prepare contingency measures is acceptable.
Good. I will take that under advisement.
That is all. Prepare all you can until the day of the operation.
Well done. We're counting on you to see it through. But be sure not to get overconfident out there.
Stop by Elysian later, along with the counters. I have something to give you.
Oh, you've beaten me to it, ma chérie. After Elysian, do grace Tetra with your presence as well.
No need to thank me. That was all her. She just did whatever she wanted. I realize it's ironic hearing this from me, but you probably should keep some distance between you and all that. In some ways, she's more than a bit unhinged. You know Wardress? Never mind. Do you need anything for the operation? If you do, let me know. Good. Consider me your piggy bank, should you need one.
You seem quite close to the leaders of the Ark. It's been a long day for you. I recommend getting rest before the operation. Sixo will seize control of the Ark. What follows after that, even I cannot predict. What is certain is that the Ark will be fundamentally changed. Conversely, even that may not be certain. There may be no visible change whatsoever, only that the Ark's central control AI will be replaced. However, we cannot count on that possibility. Right now, nothing can be guaranteed.
You don't understand what it means for a new queen to be born. The birth of a new queen signifies changes in the laws of nature. there's no telling what could happen. Everything you've learned about raptures over the past century will become worthless.
It must be done within the hour the Ark is left without power. In that regard, there is one more matter in which I require your assistance. The Ark's power infrastructure is an intricately interconnected network. Shutting down all systems will take considerable resources. Since I must focus on responding to any civil unrest during the blackout, I would prefer not to divert resources to the shutdown process itself. However, while the Ark's power systems are complex, they ultimately stem from one place: the Ark's power source. If that is deactivated, the Ark will shut down. That being said, I do not possess the authority to perform such a significant action. Shutting down the power source could put the Ark's very existence in peril. As a preventative measure, I was never given the authority to do so in case I ever become corrupt. Therefore, you must shut down the Ark's power source. You know the method. On the day of the operation, deactivate the power source in time with Sixo's attack. Indeed. You will face no repercussions for this act. Correction. I will look the other way. Work with the Electric Shock Squad to shut down the Ark's power source.